Today we will design a two-sided wedding invitation using watercolor brushes and Procreate tools. Before we begin, you can download the brushes along with the color palette via the link below the video. If you like my videos, you may also want to check out my Patreon page, where I share more exclusive tutorials and brush sets. You'll find a link to it in the video description as well. Without further ado, let's begin! Let's start with creating a new canvas. For that, I'm going to click on this plus icon and then on this folder. First, let's deal with the dimensions. I'm going to use the canvas size that I always do. It's 2000 by 2500 pixels. In inches, it would make 4 to 5. Actually, there is no one single standard for the size of wedding invitation. It can be different, like 5 to 7, 6 to 8, or even square, like 5 to 5 inches. So in this case, it's not critical. What is important is the DPI. It should be not less than 300. So if you get your invitation printed, you will get the image of high quality. Next, I'm going to color profile. I always use RGB color profile in my drawings. Most often display P3 and sometimes sRGB, it would also work. But the majority of home printers work in CMYK color profile. Also, if you go to print shop, they may ask you to change the color profile to CMYK. But in some cases, RGB would look fine. Anyway, this color profile will look better on the screen, so I'm gonna use it. Finally, I will click Create. And we can proceed to work. I will try to make the designing process as easy and enjoyable as I can, so I'm going to use the stamp to make it faster. This is a stamp from my landscape set. It is also available on my Gumroad for free. Right now I included it in the bundle, so let's select it from here. Before we apply it on the canvas, I will go to change the background color. I will pick some dark shade of blue, for example, because I'm going to select this light color for the stamp and it needs to be seen on the canvas. Let's set the brush size to 32 or 35% and tap somewhere on the canvas. I will flip it horizontal and maybe adjust the size a little. Now we can work on it. First, I'm going to create a layer above this one. Go back to the layer with the stamp and in this menu, click Select. Make sure you don't have Color Fill option turned on, so only the stamp is selected. If it still didn't work, you may need to adjust the selection threshold, so you will need to slide to the left or to the right with your pencil. For me, it worked fine, so I will go back to this newly created layer and change the color into the next one below. In the brushes, I will select soft brush from airbrushing and paint some parts of the stamp. I will start from the stem here. Also paint this leaf. And actually I'm going to paint the entire stem. So I will lower the size to be more accurate. I'm painting it carefully on the intersection with this leaf and then going up. I will paint all these 3 leaves here, so I increase the brush size to make it faster. Once we are done here, let's see what else we can paint. I think this leaf pops up a little, so I will paint it, and also this one. And we also need to paint another leaf on the right side to keep the balance, so I picked this small one. After we did that, we can deselect. After that, I will go to this layer and alpha lock it. I'll change the color to the next one, that is this light brown. And in the brushes, I will go to Texture Set. Let's pick rectangle brush from here. And the size is set to around 12%. I'll start making strokes carefully on these gray leaves that we painted. You may paint or just tap. And change the pressure to get lighter or darker color. Don't paint the leaves entirely. After we apply this color, we can switch to the next one on the right, that is a little darker. And this time I will make strokes closer to the stem to add sort of shading. I'm just tapping carefully, and even though the brush is in full opacity, it is very pressure sensitive. So the color changes, depending on the pressure. Let's paint this one. And the last one. After we painted these leaves, we can go to Adjustments and from this menu select Noise. I will apply it on the layer. First I'm going to slide to the right to see this noise effect. Then I will switch from clouds to ridges, that is my favorite mode in noise, and I will set octaves to maximum. This is also what I always do. Then I will try to find the balance between noise ratio and the scale. So let me increase it and see what happens. I will also increase the noise value. So it looks like glitter. We can also try to adjust the turbulence, so it looks more or less sharp. If you want to know my values, they are the following. I set noise to 76.8%, scale is at 27%, octaves are at maximum and turbulence is at 60%. And I have ridges mode. So now we can deselect. Now let's go to this layer with light leaves and paint them too. So I'm locking the layer here. Also changing the color into this greenish. And going to the brush set. Here I have a few watercolor brushes. I'm going to pick wash brush. We already used it in some landscapes. It is in full opacity and the size is set to 45 or 44%. I will start painting on the leaves. And since the layer is alpha locked, we are not getting outside the shape. I painted the first layer, pressing on the pencil, and after we lift the pencil up from the canvas and paint more, the color will get a little darker. So we can build this shading gradually, also considering the location of the leaves. For example, we can see that this leaf covers these two a little. So I will lower the size to be more accurate and draw sort of shadow here. I will darken the lower part of this leaf. So I'm lifting the pencil up a few times to get darker colors. I'll do the same with the remaining leaves too. This is how this brush works. And I think it is actually very handy. I will darken this leaf so it is like in shadow. Let me paint on this one. Okay. After we added this green color, we may need to add highlights with this light color again. So I'm going back to it and I will paint on some leaves to add this contrast. I'll highlight this leaf on the right. Again, I'm lifting the pencil and painting again, so the color gets lighter. And also here. Alright, after we did that, we can actually try to adjust the colors using hue, saturation, brightness from adjustments. I'll select layer and try to make it a little darker. We may need to do it because watercolor brushes are half transparent, and in this design I want the colors to be more vibrant, so I will darken it to 41%. Plain with saturation may also work. Alright, I think I will keep it like this. 54% saturation and 39% brightness. Let's now merge these two layers, and as I already said, I will change the background color. Now we can make it light. This is the leaf that we created, and now we will make our design using this single branch. I want to make the invitation two-sided. Now I will create the first side. So I will go to the color disk and double tap to select pure white color. Let's also create a new layer below the first one. And go to selection. Here I will pick rectangle and also color fill. I will draw a rectangle. That will be my invitation shape. It is filled. Then I will click on the arrow and enable snapping in the settings. I want to snap it to the center. I think we need to turn this off so it works better. I have distance and velocity set to maximum. So let's see now. It worked. I will bring back the layer. On this side, I will write only the names of the bride and bridegroom, and I will write them in a shape. So let me create a layer. Go to brushes and calligraphy set. We will create a stamp right away. It'll take a few seconds. I'm duplicating this monoline. Go into shape, edit, import, and go into source library. Let's scroll a little down and select hex. I'll click done. I will only go to properties and increase maximum size. Let's make it more than 1000. Then click done. Let's now go to the color palette and select this brown color. We already have the layer created, so I will tap on the canvas. I'm not sure about the size, we will see. This is too small, so I'll increase it and tap again. Now I will scale it. I will disable snapping for now. Let me make it even smaller. I think this would work. So here the dimensions are 1256 by 1298 pixels. After that, I will go to snapping and try to snap it. If it doesn't work, we need to turn this layer off again. Now it worked. Let's duplicate this layer and rotate one shape. I'm rotating the one that is on top. Then I will duplicate it once again and clip the layer in the middle to the first one. I will also set it to multiply. Go to adjustments and apply Gaussian blur on it, so it creates sort of shadow on the first layer. If it's slightly visible, we can go and change the brightness. Alright, I set it to 35%. Now that's better. I'm going to merge these three layers. After that, I will create a layer above this white shape. And I will clip it. I will be duplicating this flower many times. So let me do it now. I'll pick one of them and drag it down. We don't need snapping here. Let me just rotate it and place it somewhere here, a little lower than this shape. Let me drag it between these two layers. We will use this one a little later, so it will be clipped. Then I will duplicate the initial layer again, so we don't ruin the quality. I will also drag it down. We can try to flip it. I will also drag it here. Duplicate it again. And place it on the right side. Here I will switch to freeform and stretch it a little. Also flip. I'll place it this way. Then drag it down too. All these three layers are clipped. I will merge them and duplicate again. After that, I will flip this one vertical and drag it up. We can use magnetics. I don't want them to look very similar, so I will try to stretch and move a little to the side. Now this is better, I think. We can use this layer. I will just place it right above the white canvas. And I will select this green color again. I want to use it together with one of watercolor brushes. Let's try basic watercolor brush. I will increase its size, lower the opacity to like 70% and start painting from top, not applying too much pressure. Then I will press more on the edge to darken it a little. After that, we can paint on the lower edge. If it turned out too dark, we can lower the opacity a little. I'll set it to 90%, but keep in mind that we will apply paper overlay, so it may change the colors slightly. Finally, I will write the names. First, let's select this color. I will go to Actions, Add, and click Add Text. I will write the first name. That will be Rose. I will also change the font. Let's see what script fonts Procreate has. I didn't want to import it, but if you have some cool handwriting text, you can totally go for it. I will use this snail round band, if I pronounced it correctly. Let's try to increase the size now. I'm trying not to make it too big. And place it here. Even after that, we can scale it. So I will place it on the left, then duplicate it, drag one of them to the right side, then in this menu click Edit Text. I will also select it and type the second name. That will be Jack. I think you might have guessed from where I took these names. So let me move it, and I will try to make the cool transition between the letters. I think I can match them here. Then I will select them both and center. I only want to add the word "and". So I will go to the text again, type this sign, and place it on the right from Rose. Maybe I will make it slightly bigger. After that, I will merge these three layers, go to Adjustments, and apply noise here to add some glitter. I'm first sliding, but I don't want to make it too intense like here. Just a tiny bit. I think clouds would work. OK, I applied noise at 20%, scale is 2%, it is in clouds, octaves are at 36%, and turbulence is at 62%. I will also do this. I want to remove these leaves from the shape. For that, I will just tap to select white color from the background, go to this layer, and drag the color inside it. As I said, I want to apply a paper overlay on it. So I'll create a layer above all layers, pick this color, and watercolor paper. I will paint on the canvas. Make sure it covers the white part. Then I will open the layer and change the blending mode to color dodge. These green colors will get some yellowish glow. To remove the texture from the purple background, we could either clip all the layers to this white layer, or I will go to Selection, disable Color Fill, and outline the texture that goes outside the canvas. So I'm drawing these rectangles on all sides. To select it. After that, I will just swipe 3 fingers down and cut. For better presentation, I want to add a shadow under this white part. So I'm duplicating the layer, go into the lower one, then to Adjustments, and I will lower the brightness completely to make it black. After that, I will go to Gaussian Blur and slide to the right. Let's set it to around 9.5%. Then I will move it in this direction. And lower the opacity. Since the background is very light, we can keep the opacity at 30%. This is the first side of our invitation. And now we will make the second one quickly. I want to use this project as the mock-up template. So let me go back to Gallery and duplicate it. Now I'm going to delete this part, also these flowers, the watercolor part, and also this inscription. Let's go here and create a layer above it. I will pick any color, let's say this one. Go to Selection and draw a rectangle in the middle. Let's fill it, and I will snap it to the center. After we did that, we can actually repaint it into white. Then I will create a layer below and select this mint color together with wash brush. Let me set the size to around 70% and start painting around this shape. First, I'm not applying too much pressure to reveal this rectangle. Then I will press more at some parts. I think this is a very nice color for a wedding. What do you think? Alright, we still have this one flower left. Let's use it. I'll duplicate it, drag it under the rectangle, rotate, and move it to the side. Let's locate it somewhere here. I will clip the watercolor layer to the canvas, then also clip this flower so it doesn't go outside. If you don't like the location, you can always change it. We have also the last flower, so I will also drag it down, rotate, and drag to the opposite side. I want to add some more glitter on the background. So I'm creating a layer under the flowers, but above the watercolor. I'll select this brown color. Go to Spray Paints and pick Flix brush. The size is set to 55%. I will make a few strokes, or just tap. Then I will duplicate it to make it more opaque, merge these two layers, and also apply noise feature to turn it into glitter. So I'm sliding to around 40%, and actually I can keep it like that without any further adjustments. Maybe I will just adjust the color slightly by changing its hue, so it's more in greens maybe. Well, I like this one. It is set to 55%. After that we can work on this part in the middle. I want to add a golden frame. So I will do this. I will first duplicate this layer with the rectangle, go to the lower one, and fill it with this brown color. Then I will go back to the white layer and scale it. I will switch to freeform, dragging it up, then down, and inwards on the sides. I'm making this border the same thickness. After we did that, I will click on the layer to open the menu and click Select. Let's turn color fill off, so it doesn't fill the rectangle. It is selected now. I'll go back here and click Clear. Then I will change the location of these two layers, dragging the frame up and scaling it. I will make this distance equal on all sides. For that I'm using freeform, because in uniform it doesn't work like that. After we placed it, we can also add glitter to it. So I'm going to noise. As you see, we used it a lot today, but it actually works great. So I will just slide to the right and increase octaves to maximum. Noise is set to 68.2%. I will deselect. Finally, we have this place for the text. Here I will be using black color. So let me create a new layer somewhere here. Then I will go to the disk and double tap here. After that, go to Actions and add text. I will type the names again. So I'm writing Rose, Return, and Jack. Let me select all the words, and this time I will use a different font. That is this last one. Let me adjust the size first. I will also change leading to place the words closer to each other. Let me now select only the word add and lower its size. Then I will adjust leading. Between all words. I will make rows a little bigger and Jack 2. It may take some time, but finally we will get a good result. Then I will drag it up here and stretch it a little to the side. Using freeform selection. We have some more space at the bottom of the shape. Let's also use it. First, let me change the font into some other that is not script. Here I will select Avenir Next Condensed and switch from regular to ultralight italic. Here I will type the day and date with all capital letters. I'll change the size, place it here and stretch it in freeform. Then I will add more text and write the time. Let it be 7 o'clock. I'm also writing it with all capital letters. I will use a different font. It can actually be Avenir, just as an example. Here I will make the size smaller and place it below. Let me now select these two layers and drag them on the canvas. They will appear on top. I'll select them again and drag them down with magnetics. Then I will edit both inscriptions. In the first line I will write the address, so I will click Edit Text, select it and change. Just write in random address. Then go into the second one and also edit in it. I will write the rest of the address. Let me see what we got. And I think it turned out quite nice. So we got two versions in the end. I'll be looking forward to see yours. So don't forget to tag me if you post on Instagram. If this tutorial was helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. For more Procreate tutorials and brush sets, check out my Patreon on the link below this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.